and welcome to our next Channeling the New Earth teachings, which I'll be channeling Ascended Master Lakeshma from Atlantis. If you follow my work, you'll be familiar with Lakeshma. So she lived in the time of the First Great Awakening in Atlantis, and there's a lot of parallels with the process of their awakening to what is happening now currently in our collective consciousness. So we are joined by Patreon members and some session participants. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. So without further ado, I'm going to go now into trance and bring forth Lakeshma. Well, hello, it is Lakeshma coming through, and it is with such love that we come through today to remind you of the love that you are, to remind you of the divinity that is in within each and every one of you, because you are source, because you are God, because you are the earth, because you are the stars, because you are every single being in the universe. Yes, because you are one with all that is. There are many great shifts that are occurring now in the collective consciousness. You are starting to see the shifts manifested in your reality. You perceive them to be worldwide events. Well, some of you are also experiencing them in your individual lives, but understand everything that you experience in your outer reality is all reflected of the collective consciousness shifts that is happening. So if you want to have more awareness about what is really occurring in your reality, then it is up to you to step into the unknown. It is up to you to face those aspects of you which you have repressed. There cannot be a great awakening without a great purge. And this is what is occurring and what has been occurring for some recent time in your perception of time. Have you experienced the purge? The collective experience has been certain worldwide events that have triggered you, that has allowed you to ask those questions, those existential questions, to ask what is important. You've also been faced with your fears. And through your conditioned beliefs, you have continued to repress these unwanted emotions. But now in this time of great expansion, of great human evolution, you cannot repress them any longer. But understand that you have the power, that you have the courage, that you have the technologies to face what was unseen within you. Because you are love, there is nothing to fear about exploring the inner depths of who you are, because what you will find is perfection in every single way. Even those aspects of you that you have judged, aspects of you that you perceive as wrong, beliefs that you perceive as wrong, actions that you have perceived that were wrong, have all been perfect, because it has allowed you to express in your reality in such a way where it has allowed you to explore why you were here, what you chose to explore here in physical reality. Because you are master creators. You are God creators. You wanted to have this experience. You wanted to explore your reality through the system of polarity. You explore this polarity through the perceptions of fear and love and the contrast between these systems. These are not inherently wrong or right. It is systems of the universe, systems of creation that expands all that is, that allows source to experience itself in you and in all beings across all the universe, in perceptions of separation, of duality. And it is here where you're evolving the collective consciousness, not only your own personal evolution, but you are expanding the universe. But understand, this polarity system means you are connected with all aspects. So you cannot ignore those aspects of you or aspects of your reality that you perceive to be in fear. Because if you deny those parts, you are denying a part of you. But understand, fear itself is an illusion. It is a polarity system. In higher truth, it is a higher love. So if you experience the negative emotion, if there are parts of your experience that trigger negative emotion within you, that understand all it needs is your love, that it just needs your acceptance. Understand there's higher reasons why these things occur in your reality. Even in fear, you do not have to suffer in fear. Because suffering is a human construction. Because you fear fear itself, there is certain, we would say, perceptions around the nature of fear. But fear is just a loving teacher to show you there is something within you that you have not loved, that you have repressed. But on the other side, because you are living in a system of polarity, are you also denying the joy in your reality? Some of you do not feel worthy to experience the magnitude of the divinity that you are. Some of you are denying love, denying joy in your reality. You've been so addicted to the cycles of fear that when love comes along, you do not believe you're worthy of it. That you believe it is fleeting, so you do not open yourself up to the magnificence, to the beauty of love in all things and in all experiences. But you are here to experience joy, love. That is who you are. Are you experiencing joy, or are you experiencing more of the fear? Because is that what you are more used to? Is that what your brain biology tells you to look at? If you are one of those people, that is okay. It's part of your evolution, but you have the power to affect change within your very biology, to be able to see the love in all. And if you can see the love in all, the acceptance in all, you not only rewire your brain, change your biology, and create certain connections between the brain and the heart that allows you to vibrate in a certain frequency field that attracts more of which you desire, you also start to remember your oneness connection with all beings, with yourself, with all the dimensions of you that exist in the multiverse. You then start to activate more of who you are, because yes, in this time of great awakening of consciousness, all the collective is receiving certain activations within them that allows them to see beyond perception of this duality consciousness. Many of you are already seeing glimpses of this, seeing glimpses of the true multiverse and the oneness in all that is. You are now starting to see more of your own abilities, experiencing them all. Are you experiencing more of these? More of the love that you are? And it is through you surrendering to this journey of polarity, by you shifting your perspective to how the polarity system works in your reality, and how they are divine messages, and how they're here out of a higher love to expand your consciousness and that of the whole collective. And once you get practice in practicing acceptance for those things that perhaps you see as wrong, even if you do not agree with certain behaviors, if you can practice acceptance of them, you start to align your vibration, your perspectives, and your biology to see the higher perspective in all things, to see the higher love in all things, to see the divinity in all things. And that's what activates you. That's what activates your dormant DNA, your divine blueprint, which is in your heart center. As you know, your heart center is a divine portal to who you truly are. And it is frequency. It is a frequency of love, which is unconditional acceptance. And you seeing the oneness in all. By living that, by being the embodiment of that, which activates more divine blueprint within you, that activates more of your abilities, what you call as psychic abilities, which we find funny because these abilities that you all have, do not have to label them as psychic abilities. They're abilities of who you truly are, abilities that are sourced from many lives that you are currently living or have lived in the multiverse and all the realities in which you exist in. And because of your pre-birth intentions, your soul contract, you've chosen to bring online certain abilities in this current reality lifetime to assist you in your journey here. Because you, that is here in this lifetime, in this current space-time continuum, are at the forefront of this consciousness shift. And you as a collective are at this point of frequency where you are now activating this within you. You have labeled yourself as the Lightworkers. You are receiving these activations before, we would say, many in the collective, because you are to show the way for others, to be the beacon of light for others. So yes, this might mean you are feeling things more intensely before others, going through the shifts before the others. But understand you have a heightened set of abilities within you, technologies within you. And yes, although you might feel things more intensely, you can return back to love more easily, equilibrium more easily. And it's with practice, it is with trust, it is with you stepping into the unknown. Trusting, opening your heart, knowing that your heart is a portal, knowing your heart is a compass. And yes, these times might intimidate you, challenging you. These times might ask you to judge your surroundings, others, even yourself. But understand here, all is happening according to the divine plan which you co-created. You can choose to be victims of it or choose to be co-creators of it, conscious co-creators. And you can use it for its intended purpose to assist you in remembering the love that you are, the perfection that you are. Using your heart technologies. It does not mean you shut yourself off from others. If you see something that triggers negative emotion in your outer reality, it does not mean you cannot show compassion for others, because you are connected with all beings. You can still be in a point of unconditional acceptance for another, of a situation. And open your heart to that person, to those people, to those situations at hand. And be in a state of loving compassion, of gratitude. You have the technologies to elevate your frequency. And as you elevate your frequency, you connect more with others in your reality. You connect more with who you are within you. You connect more to your multidimensional expression throughout the multiverse. And you connect with all beings. Because all beings and all expressions are within each and every one of you, because you are source, you are one. It's time to surrender to the power of who you are. Do not deny the love in your reality. You have a choice to deny it. You have a choice to explore fear. But understand here, you have processed so much of the shadow as a collective. There is so much now activating within the consciousness now, within each and every one of you. Are you feeling the love? Are you feeling the joy? For some of you, this might be unusual, that you are not used to experiencing the love and joy. You might even feel guilty for feeling the love and joy in your reality. But that is who you are. You are worthy to experience love, to embody love. So go and embody love in all your uniqueness. If you can surrender to the journey at hand, cultivate technologies within your heart, cultivate compassion and gratitude and joy for yourself, for all aspects of you, including the shadow selves and of all others, of everything in your reality. You are on that pathway of source realization, of enlightenment, of knowing that you are source. That is the journey. Understanding the polarity and shifting it within you to propel you to your own evolution and the evolution of the collective. Because every time you surrender, every time you choose love, you are shifting the whole collective consciousness to remember who they are in love, in oneness. For you are not separated. You are one. You are within each and every one of you, in your heart, in your energy, in your vibration. Remind yourself that you are powerful. For some of you, you are afraid of your own power. You're afraid of all the love that is within you. Yes, you've had practice now exploring the depths of the shadows. And now you've arrived at the light and the love of who you are, and you're afraid of it. You like to place boundaries around the love, but understand that true love is unconditional. There are no boundaries. There are no limits. Allow yourself to feel the love within your heart. As you practice the cultivation of love, allow it to overflow within your heart. Allow yourself to embody the love. Allow yourself to express it with others. It is love. It is the felt experience of love in all its frequencies that allows you to connect more with others, that allows you to remember who you truly are. It's not just conceptualizing it, not just analyzing it. You are to feel the love within your heart. Your heart is a magnet. Electromagnetic pulses that correlate, that act in tangent with your brain biology to affect changes within your physical expression that affects your whole vibration. So it is the power of the heart and the power of your perceptions working together to create your field. You have the power to expand your field. It takes courage for you to surrender. Are you surrendering to your power? Or do you like to place boundaries around your power? How do you really see yourself? Do you see yourself as worthy to have power? Have a look at that. Because there are many perceptions around power, many limiting beliefs around power that allows you to close off from feeling the divine power within you. So take that lid off, take those boundaries away from your heart, and allow that felt sense of divine love, divine power to overflow from within you. It is there waiting for you. Do you feel it? Do you feel the love that you are, or do you deny it? Allow yourself to surrender to it. Understand that power no longer comes from the ego mind. It's from the heart. Feel the power from the heart. And it is here where you further activate your way show abilities, your light work abilities, for you to lead the way for others, for you to shine the light for others. It's the power of the heart that leads you every step of the way. It is with such love that we come through today. Are you experiencing the love? Are you experiencing the joy? How are you exploring your power currently, dear ones?
Hi, Lakeshma.
Hello, dear one.
So, Lakeshma, I'm working on feeling the contrast as beautiful. So right now I'm working on rejection, feeling it as beautiful. But I wanted to ask you this because I got two signs today while I was hiking. I saw a dead beaver and a dead mouse. And I got the message, and it was for me to reflect on my past. So the beaver represented my childhood because I grew up in Canada. And the mouse was for me not to stay small. But I was just wondering if you can talk a little bit around seeing dead animals as a message to go into the past.
Understand that these signs are different for people. For you, you receive the answers to why they were there for you. However, for some other people, there could be signs for exploring their past, but in different nuanced ways, so to speak, because understanding that the messages come to everybody in relations to their belief systems. So if another person was to see a dead animal, perhaps because of their beliefs, they would not be able to receive the message. So the message comes in another way. Perhaps it is to see a butterfly. Perhaps it is to see another animal. Perhaps it is to have a message come in another form. So understand it is unique to you because it aligns to your belief systems. So yes, animals in general do carry messages for the collective, but the meaning behind it is individual because of the meaning attributed to that animal. But yes, there is a collective, we would say, meaning behind certain animals. And this can also carry through the collective. But again, it depends on your belief systems and how you interact with these messages. So understand here that for you personally, you are exploring a new chapter in your reality. The old Isabel is no longer. Of course, she's existing in the multiverse because all dimensions of you exist. But you are now stepping into more of who you are. So it is for you, it is a shedding of the old, so to speak. It is a form of death, so to speak. You have shed the old self and you are birthing anew. You are stepping into a new being, both in consciousness and in form. It is a significant shift in your reality that you are experiencing in. So the signs that you saw was just to validate that you have gone through this form of death. Some of you refer to this as a shamanic death. There are many certain traditions that speak of these types of spiritual death as being reborn. So you have gone through that process. So yes, for some, it may be, if they see the dead animals, it could be a sign for them that they are also going through this form of death. But understand, of course, there is no death. It is a symbolic phase, a transition from transforming the old into the new. And that is where you are at because of the work that you have done, because of the cultivation of love that you have done, because you have boldly stepped into your purpose, exploring the unknown. And because of this, you have shifted. Are you feeling the shifts, Yuan?
I am. And I'm so grateful for you, Lakeshma, to really help me through this transformation and awakening. It's interesting because I see the other light workers really going through intensity, right? And because I'm not afraid of fear, I'm going through the shifts much faster. And I think going through the Lion's Gate, I don't feel pain and suffering like I used to. And I don't judge pain and suffering as wrong. And so it's a little surreal, to be honest with you, Lakeshma, going through this at this space and stage. But I understand, or I remember, there really are phases and stages to everyone's awakening, to everyone's journey. And so when I saw the animals, which is really random, I mean, to see a deceased beaver is really random, but I knew it wasn't. I knew it was a message. So really thank you for that confirmation, because when you go through this, and even though, yes, I can talk to you and channel and all of that, it is nice to have this direct conversation to go through, to talk about it, to validate it, to say like, okay, yep, this is normal. Yep, this is part of it. Yep, it's okay. It's just another stage. It's just another phase. It's all part of the ascension awakening game. It's all okay.
Because you are now, we would say, anchoring these higher perspectives within you. You've got to a point where you have changed your brain biology. So habitually, you are able to see the higher perspective. Of course, it takes practice, and you have been practicing. So now you are more easily in this flow of seeing the higher perspective. So because of this shift that you have gone through, you no longer have to, we would say, delve deep and spend time in that muck of fear for you to see the higher perspective. For you, it comes now more easily because you have done that work. So celebrate where you are at, D1.
Thank you, Lakeshma.
Is there any questions today, D1s?
I have a question about dead animals as well. The other day I was walking in the forest, and suddenly a deer, quite a large deer, ran just in front of me and ran away into the forest. And later I heard a gunshot. It was hunting season, so I assumed the deer was killed. I just now realized that maybe there was something for me in it as well.
D1. You are going through a particular shift now, that you are now opening yourself up to communicate with the non-physical. Your abilities have now become heightened. So that deer that you saw was an acknowledgement that all your friends, all of us on the other side, so to speak, are here guiding you every step of the way, and that you can connect with them. You are at that point where you have those abilities now, and it is for you to trust that connection. The oneness connection that is within you is now enhanced. So practice connecting with the oneness in all others. Perhaps you want to practice with animals or elements of nature, perhaps the trees, connecting with their energy, communicating, or it could be with another person. You have these abilities of communication, and they are now more consciously guiding you every step of the way now. So Be more in the present moment and you will receive more of this communication. Trust in your abilities. And connect. Practice this connection. Because you have done so much of the work, D1. Now you are at a point where you can now consciously connect with other beings. So go practice and have fun.
Thank you very much.
So any other questions today, D1?
I have a question.
Yes, D1.
So the other day I was at Universal Studios and I was with Hussein and we were in Harry Potter land and we were looking at the wands and they were mostly toys. And then I connected with one wand in particular that brought a lot of energy and I felt very connected to it. And so I ended up bringing it home and I was wondering if you could speak to that I've had that connection with different objects that come into my life and I feel like I want to explore magic in a different way. If you could talk about that a bit.
D1. There is a part of you that is unfolding within you. The powers that you have within you. That energy, that power, that fire that is within you. You can utilize this fire, shape it, this power. And although in the past you may have been afraid of this power and how it might shift you, your personality, your identity, how others will perceive you, it's by you embodying this power, this fire, for transformation for others. So your connection to this wand is a recognition in part that, this wand can be an external representation of the fire within you, of the transformational power within you. Just like you waving a wand, this fire is within you. And of course, you do not need a wand because all the technologies are within you. But this external representation allows you to feel more comfortable in exploring this power within you. So yes, you can co-create with this wand if you so choose. But understand, no tools are required because it is all within you. You can practice connecting it within your heart. You can practice the golden flame within your heart, feeling the fire within your heart, the divine flame. And as you feel this flame engulfing you, this love, this powerful love, as you surrender to it, you can be creative here and ask it to extend to this instrument if you so choose. Set your intentions. You imprint all energy with your intentions. So have fun, have play here. Understand that this childlike play allows you to bring back your vibration into the state of innocence. And in the state of innocence, in play, in fun, you let go of the resistance. So understand that this wand, this tool is just also assisting you to let go of the resistance to the power that is within you. Because if you focus the power of something outside of yourself, you take off your own the pressure that you place on yourself to be the embodiment of power. So understand that this is just a tool of less resistance, let's just say, for you to express your power. So yes, play with this wand, play with the power, but understand that it's all within you. You cannot imprint or activate any external technologies without your energy, without your input, without your imprint.
That's awesome. Thank you.
there any other questions today, dear ones? Oh, we have someone wanting to speak. Dear ones.
I'll have a question then.
Yes.
So this weekend I was listening to teachings about, you know, the kind of Buddha's version of their philosophy of whatever Buddha nature or true nature or the nature of how things are. And then in another instant, I was also at the same time decided I was going to like listen to it, but at the same time I was cuddling my dog, and so I was in this love fest moment with my dog. And then so I was having all this love for my dog, and then at one point then I got this idea of like a silver thread. So this thought came in my mind like, oh, this silver thread, and you can heal yourself with this silver thread, and this thread can move all kinds of ways, and in my mind it was saying, and you know how, just do it, you know how. And I don't know what that is. I've never heard of a silver thread of kind of imagined, visualized silver thread. Do you know anything about a silver thread?
Dear one, it has been called many names throughout all your cultures, throughout all the civilizations. But understand that you are connected to every single being, and there is a cord of light that connects you with all beings. In the network of the unified field of consciousness, you like to call this collective consciousness, you like to call this source energy consciousness, universal life force energy. But there is a cord that connects you with all beings. And we would say that there are some traditions who work with this cord. And the fact that you have this personal message for you is because you have explored this previously. Your connection with Gaia, your connection with certain traditions. This would say this is our unique message for you because you do know this, you have just forgotten. But understand that there are many civilizations and cultures who have practices in relations to this. The cord that you speak of allows you to expand the collective consciousness that connects you with source energy. How the universe expands itself creates certain patterns, certain polarities. You might call this sacred geometry, and these sacred shapes, these sacred dimensions expand to the polarity system throughout all that is. From the single point of light that you are. There are, we would say, rays of light as it flows throughout all the dimensions, as the divine light shines throughout all of the universe, creating many dimensions, creating different experiences. These rays of light also hold certain keys and connections within each and every one of you. And this thread that you speak of, this ray of light connects into your heart portal. When you do your meditations, do you ever see a beam of light going into your heart center? Many of you have experienced this, but did not know what it was. And this is why your heart center is such a powerful portal, because it connects you with all that is. And this is why you can send your love to all others. This is why you can send your intentions. This is why you can create change throughout all that is. And this is how you can travel the multiverse, because you are connected, not just to the single point source origin, not just to who you are, but to all the lives you are living. You in the multiverse is connected through this divine cord, so to speak, in your terminology, connects within that and connects you in all the realities in which you are living. For you are multidimensional, and this is why you and all your expressions is assisting you in the now, because you are connected. Some of you are more conscious of these connections. Some of these connections have become, we would say, pinched off, but they are still there. All the connections are all innately within you. And this is why when you imagine yourself having a beam of light going into your heart center, you can connect more to the infinite field of consciousness. You can perceive more of the unseen. That's just an example of how you can utilize this cord. But this cord also connects you and grounds you to Mother Gaia, connects you and grounds you into physical reality. And this is why you can explore all the realms of existence and the astral planes. Some of you had experience of you leaving your body and returning. It's because of this cord of light that connects you and grounds you always into physical reality. So you may wish to practice this when you do your meditations. Visualize a cord of light going through the crown of your head into your heart. And then see it transform as it moves through your being down into the heart chakra of Mother Gaia, as you are connected with all that is. So yes, dear one, you are starting to remember more of who you are, because you've explored this previously and currently in other lives. So trust the wisdom within you. Follow the steps, one step at a time. Communicate, engage. When you receive these messages, engage with it. Ask your questions. Because guess what? That was a version of you communicating to you, telling you what you need to know. Because you are assisting you in every dimension, every expanded dimension. Who you truly are is beyond any linear representation. It is beyond any conceptual idea based in duality. Who you truly are is beyond definition. Depending on the dimension that you are existing in, you have varied elements, varied structures, but it is this cord that connects you in all experiences throughout the multiverse, throughout all your expressions as a unique frequency. Those of you that channel, you are tuned to the elements within this cord. We would say there were structures within this cord. So understand it's not just one cord, one linear perception of a cord. Understand there are many different aspects and frequencies and codes within. And you are now activating more of this awareness within you. So when you channel, you're actually tapping into this cord. When you receive higher insights, you're receiving this information. When you have visitations or insights or messages from your multidimensional experiences, from your spirit guides, from you and other expressions, the information is we would say, in part being, we would say, channeled through this cord into your divine blueprint. Understand it is all within your heart portal. Your heart portal is where everything, all the technologies is stored. is anchored into your expression here in physical reality.
Thank you. That's amazing. And it's also interesting that you said, and who you are is beyond the concepts or I'm not sure exactly all the words you said, but that's exactly what the teachings were saying in my ear when I was cuddling the dog. And that's what you just said. So that's kind of interesting.
We would say that a human comprehension of what this looks like is beyond, because it is beyond a linear perception. We would say because of the frequency, currently it might be difficult for you to grasp this particular idea, but understand that who you truly are is truly magnificent, truly expansive, truly multidimensional. That you are truly not linear. That in all your expressions exist in the one field, energy, that is who you are, divine source energy. Dear ones. Is there any other questions today, dear ones? So, dear ones, in this time of your consciousness expansion, we want you to delve into joy. Understand it is about a divine balance here. You know the importance of shadow work, but some of you are pushing aside the joy and the love in your reality. Your priorities are shifting, but understand it is about you listening to the calling of your heart. The calling of your heart is to play, is to find joy, is to find love in your reality and spend time in that love every single day. Because this is how you expand your consciousness. It is about following your joy, but following your joy with your eyes open and not ignoring the shadows, because it is one and the same. It is a divine system here. You can be in joy and still explore the shadow self. And yes, the processes may be challenging at times, because you are transmuting aspects of you that are in a density frequency that is no longer for your evolution. So you are transmuting it from your current energy field in this time continuum. Because you're ready for higher expansion, transmutation occurs for you to let more light in, to allow yourself to be activated with higher frequencies. And the only way for you to transmute this, to allow this process to come into effect, is for you to surrender to it, to process it, to practice acceptance of it. The more you practice it, the more you can, we would say, navigate this process in a more effortless way, in a more joyous way. You can be curious. It's about changing your perceptions to it. And as you do this practice, you do not have to suffer any longer, because you're at a vibration where you understand that suffering is an illusion. Because what makes people suffer is their perceptions of fear, their perceptions of victimization. But if you can anchor yourself into these higher perceptions, even the most difficult situations and conditions that you might experience, you'll be able to see the gifts in it. You'll be able to see the silver linings, and You'll be able to see why it is occurring for you or for those involved. No matter what occurs in your reality, you have the power to cultivate compassion, cultivate acceptance, and cultivate gratitude. And then with practice, yes, you can cultivate that joy, that bliss, because bliss is who you are. Do you feel it? Do you feel it more, dear ones? Are you allowing more love in? Take those boundaries away. For far too long, you've placed boundaries around your heart. For far too long, you have placed conditions on love. Love is unconditional. True, divine, source love is unconditional acceptance. Unconditional love. Yes, it does not mean you have to agree with certain things, but you can still be in loving acceptance of it. Because when you can see those higher perspectives, you are then able to receive the clarity of the messages behind it, of what is truly occurring in the situation. You activate more of your divine blueprint. And then you receive the guidance of what actions to take, what words to say that is aligned to the highest good of all involved. It is here where you experience true freedom. Isn't that what you want? To experience true freedom? That's your innate state of being. It is your birthright. You no longer have to feel guilty. Yes, this has been an imprint in your collective consciousness. It is being transmuted. So if this still remains in your vibration, you have the power to let it go. By transmuting it, by surrendering, by knowing that you are worthy of power, you are worthy of love, that all others are worthy of love, that all others are also unconditional love, even those that you see and which you perceive may be doing wrong in your world. Be in a state of unconditional acceptance for all others, because all others are you. Can you see here that if you judge another, you are judging yourself? If you're judging something as wrong, you are judging that you are wrong within yourself. There's part of you that you have repressed, that you are not loving. So to unify and to remember all that you are is through love. And have fun along the way. So practice. Focus on exploring joy every day. What is it in your day-to-day reality that brings you joy? Take priority in that. Some of you are becoming far too serious in this reality. By engaging in childlike play, by engaging in activities that brings you joy, you allow yourself to be in that frequency of innocence, of curiosity, of play, and allows you to be in a certain frequency where you can be more receptive to all those occurring in your reality, all those occurring within you. You then allow the universe to flow through you more easily and freely. And is with joy and is riding that wave of evolution and taking action when you're inspired in the moment. Because yes, because of the collective shift, many of you are now receiving more messages because you have cleared that those density aspects within you. So you are now, let's just say your antenna has been rewired, has been retuned, so to speak. So are you hearing it? Are you seeing it? Are you experiencing your reality differently? Pay attention. If you can be in the present moment, you'll be able to pick up on these messages. But understand that these messages are for you to take action. It's a time of taking action now. It's time now to bring the non-tangible love and power and express it physically. Make it tangible. So yes, you've become prepared through recent years. You know you're being prepared. You've been doing the work. Now it is a time to take that action when you are inspired. So when you receive that guidance, are you pushing past that fear to take the steps necessary? Understand it is a law of momentum here. When you receive guidance, know that it is for your highest good and the highest good of all involved. So trust that if you take action in that moment, take an action towards that direction, you are, we would say, putting things into place in non-physical senses. A lot of things that are happening behind the veil of your physical reality. Things are moving and shifting that allows you to explore more why you are here, to manifest what you desire. So this is why you taking inspired action allows you to further open yourself up to the remembrance of who you are. But for many of you, even though these messages are now being increased, perhaps because it is calling you to step into further dimensions of the unknown, because of your fear, you close it off and you see yourself as not as worthy to take that step. But the fact that you're receiving this message, understand that you are worthy, that you have the abilities within you. Whenever you receive a message, no matter how strange it might seem, no matter how large it might seem, or how minute it might seem, understand it is for you. It is you surrendering to the messages coming from you, from your higher you. This is how you finally tune your awareness to what is occurring beyond the veil of physical reality. This is where you start to remember that you are one, that you are connected, that you are a God creator. So by putting it into action, into physical reality, you're God creators. To be God creators, you are to put it into physical reality. But ask yourself, are you taking action because of fear or because of love? But yes, any inspired idea that comes to you, if it is a step into the unknown, there will always be part of fear. And this is why there is a divine timing in all things. There is certain aspects that creates what you might call a time portal. And this is kind of a space-time continuum energy flux that which you can take action in that moment or in that space in a number of hours following that guidance. You put into place certain structures and a portal that carries you to where you need to go. This is why if you relieve certain action steps for days, for weeks, for years, more than likely you will not take that step because that portal has now closed, because the fear now has become too great. So understand there are so many things happening in your reality that you do not, we would say, completely comprehend at this point of your collective vibration. So it's about trusting the timing of things. There is no coincidences. So allow yourself to receive the messages by practicing being in the present moment, by spending time in your day without distractions, by being in a state of mindfulness. Because that is when you return home to love, to remembrance that you are the powerful being that you seek, for it is all within you. You are the universe, you are God. So go be that and express that in love in your reality. The more you do that, the more you will remember. Dear ones, is there any other questions before we finish here today? Dear ones, go play, go have fun, and go surrender to the power and love that you are. It's time for you now to take action. Push past that fear. Be love in action. Be compassion in action. Be unconditional in all your actions. Be unconditional love. If you can embody unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, you are then starting to explore your reality from the eyes of Source, from the eyes of the divine. It's up to you if you embody it. It's up to you if you want to play in victimization. The choice is yours. But I'm sure you want to have fun along the way, because you are here to experience joy. That is your birthright. Freedom is your birthright. And it is here if you would take it. All you need to do is surrender to it. It is already innately within you. Freedom is not something you have to gain. It's not outside of you. It is not based on conditions outside of you. It is within you. It is your innate state of being. And it's a shift of perceptions and heart energy cultivations, and you being the embodiment of love in action, in which you can remember that innate state of being. That you are truly powerful. You are worthy of being powerful. Power from the heart. So practice cultivating love and power within your heart, and sit with that vibration, sit with that energy. It is okay to be transformed from it, because you are here to be transformed. You are here to shift. For many of you, your identities, your perceptions of self is based on limited ideas of who you are. So yes, of course, if you embody more of the love that you are, and the limitlessness that you are, the power that you are, of course you are going to shift in your perception of personality and identity. It is for you. So embrace it. You do not have to be afraid of your own power, because it is your birthright and you are love. So go be love in action and have fun along the way. Dear ones, it is with such love that we come through today to remind you of who you are, the love that you are. Until next time, farewell.